we decided we would never ever travel this route again. But here we are. Well, maybe you've heard of Nevada's Highway 50. Known as the loneliest highway in the United States, it goes from Carson City through Austin, Eureka, Ely, and out the east side of Nevada through Baker, clear across the widest part of Nevada. Well, this isn't Highway 50. This is an even lonelier highway. This is Utah 30 that hooks down into Nevada and ends up at Oasis, Nevada. Highway 30, we traveled years ago, and it's so desolate, so remote, so without amenities and services that we decided we would never ever travel this route again. But here we are. One more time we're going down this route, and we're looking for a place to camp. And Highway 30, it makes Highway 50 look like the LA freeway when it comes to traffic. There's hardly anything. Yeah, Utah Highway 30, it's kind of a strange place to us. The last time we did come up through here, we left Wendover, Nevada, and headed up due north and connected with Highway 30 up north of Wendover. But the odd thing was we kept seeing dead cattle laying next to the road. I've never seen that before, and it went on for miles. Not hundreds of dead cattle, but just like every mile or two or three, another dead cow laying alongside the road. Don't know what that was about. In the mountains off to the right is the Sawtooth National Forest, and we're looking for a dirt road to take us up into there so we can find a spot to camp. Sometimes you hit it and you find something nice, and sometimes you gotta turn around and come back out. We'll just see how it goes. Well, we tried taking a road to the north into the National Forest, but that didn't work out. The roads just dead-ended at the base of the mountains. They didn't get up into the forest at all. So we took a turn to the south. And we're coming up on Emigrant Trail Road, which runs east and west, and it was part of the original Emigrant Trail. Once again, this is in Utah, and just not too far from Nevada. But how cool is it going to be to camp somewhere tonight along this dirt road? We're just going to find a place to pull off and off to the side and just listen tonight for the wagon wheels going by, I think. Man, it is beautiful through here. So far we haven't found a spot to pull off. I'm sure we'll find something. Might not be much. We just parked the outfit because sometimes you just gotta get out and walk the side roads and just kind of look for a spot. There might not be a pull out, but if you stay pretty close to the road, you can make your own. There we go, kinda. Well, Linda's got, I don't think you can see this maybe, but Linda's got an app here, and it just shows where we are, and it shows the road, and and we can follow it and see where the road connects. Anyways, that's what we're doing. The only problem with an app like that is sometimes it makes spots look level that are actually hills.
It's level from up in space.
Yeah. The fact that there aren't any pullouts means that no one comes here to camp, and that's the truth. This place is very untraveled. I think people probably come out here and ride their ATVs, but I don't even see any fresh ATV tracks. Oh, we just found a spot. Yep. This spot will work. Look at the view. Yeah, we'll have to jack the nose of the trailer up a bit. Yeah. This'll do. Let's go out and get the trailer, come back in. We'll have to come in real slow.
Okay. You sure you don't want me to stay here and save the spot?
Hey, you never know. Well, we're about a half a mile off of Emigrant Trail Road, between a quarter and a half a mile. And when we first started walking back in here, I did notice pieces of wire and pieces of iron barrel bands and things like that. That Emigrant Trail is probably littered. And they said that as the emigrants were making their way across here, there was about one grave per mile. So they had a real hard time, especially coming through this part of the country. This was pretty hard on them. This is a pretty big dip here in front of me. I'll have to go real slow bringing the trailer in. But it'll do it. It's got high ground clearance, so it'll make it back in here all right. Just bumpy. Some of this road has a real pronounced tilt. Our trailer has a real wide stance, so I think it'll be all right, but this spot was a little sketchy right here.
Hey, here he comes. Yep.
You all do have a HIDA key on your vehicle somewhere, don't you? Because I just walked back to the car about a half a mile. We're in the middle of nowhere. Linda stayed out here to kind of film me as I was coming back in. I got there and found out that we had both locked our keys in the car. But luckily for me, and I didn't remember, because we've owned this car a while, and I thought, I usually put a HIDA key in every vehicle I own. Man, I hope I put one in this one. And sure enough, I did. Oh man, we would have been in real trouble. Put a HIDA key in your vehicle somewhere. Well, this is how we ended up. Just off the Emigrant Trail. It ain't bad. I think we'll stay here a couple days. And it's beautiful.
Well, we made it here. So we're gonna set up camp and enjoy the evening and make dinner, and we'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow should be a fun day.
Yeah.
Well, Linda and I are just leaving camp. The first thing we want to do is just explore around our camp. Later on, we'll take the motorcycle and go to other places and explore. But right now we're going to hit up this road and just poke around. Yeah, Linda.
Yeah. Found
Right.
our first relic, artifact. Your favorite kind.
You're my first relic.
No, it's ta-da!
There you go.
It's scat.
Oh.
Coyote, I think.
Oh yeah, I don't need to put that on camera, but
No.
I hear you.
Well, isn't that hill called Coyote Hills?
Yeah, the one behind us. We try to get out of town, which is in central Montana, this time of year. Right now it's 5th of October, and it's just for us to extend the summer a bit before we go into Montana winter. I'm sure a lot of you folks can relate to that where you live. I get out here in all this beauty, and it brought to mind what the Bible says about if no one tells you about God, the rocks themselves will cry out. And it brought up that it's harder to see in the city because, like Linda mentioned a little bit ago, when you're in the city, you're surrounded by everything that's man-made, and you're surrounded by evil too. But when you come out here and see what God created, and especially at night with the stars in the sky and everything, it's hard to deny His existence. I like it out here, and that's one of the reasons I come out to the, out into nature, is to see what God created. I just love it. Wow, here's a piece of glass, old hand-blown glass. Been here for a long time. Look how purple it is. I think you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I better hold that out there a little further so it focuses. I think glass like this it's purple because it's leaded. Or there's something in it that makes it turn purple in the sun. Oh, what a beautiful color that is. One thing that Linda and I did years ago, we had our ATV at the time, and we were camped down near Whitney Pockets. And it was a beautiful place, but we had BLM maps of the area, which you can pay for. You go down to BLM office and you can get those. But it showed springs. And in one day, we went to 4 different springs. It was an area that looked a lot like this, but to see spring water coming out of the desert floor is pretty intriguing, and we did that. But the game of the day was go find the springs. It was kind of like geocaching, only on another level. It was a lot of fun. Are you seeing anything? That particular wave of the hand is from Hawaii, and it means nothing. There's quite the drop off here. We always move so slow going through the brush, kind of tapping with the stick out in front of us. There's a couple of really good channels on YouTube, Desert Drifter and Trek Planner, and I encourage you guys to look them up. But they move way too fast through the brush for my comfort, I'll tell you. I just think it's a matter of time before somebody gets bit. How's it going?
Good.
I haven't found anything except some beautiful old purple glass.
Oh.
Really a deep, deep, deep purple. It was beautiful. Wish I had the whole piece.
I came over here, I saw a hawk hunting, and I was trying to get him on camera, but he saw me when I saw him, and he took off.
He's probably circling around to get you from behind.
I think I'm a little too big for him. Yes!
Maybe that hawk has high hopes. Remember that song from the 1950s? High Hopes?
High hopes.
That's it.
That one?
That's the one. God, what a view across that valley. Highway Utah 30 runs down through that valley there. I don't know if you guys can see this. I came up to the top of this hill with Linda here, and it looks like dirt bike trails kind of all around the crest of the hill, and it's not. It's pack rat trails up here. There's a big pack rat mound. Linda made the big find of the day. She found a bean can lid.
Yeah.
Oh, old one.
Yeah.
Wow, like really old one. Yeah. Well, if you stop and think about it, if you were a hunter back in the 1940s or 50s or something like that, when that can probably came from, this would be a good place to hang out and look for game. Well, the Emigrant Trail, I don't know if you can see it, it makes a horizontal line out here, down in there. And south is to our right. Kind of cuts south a little bit through here. This is part of the California Trail. And early on there was settlers coming through here, and then after that the gold rush. Lots and lots. They say on the westward expansion there was over 500,000 people made the trip. Well, we're going to head to the top of that hill. It's called Coyote Hill. You can kind of see the road going up on the right-hand shoulder of it. And we're going to go up there and look for observation pits. See if there's anything up there. We didn't find any flakes or anything around our campsite here or any signs of previous habitation, but that's a good place to look. We're going to go check it out. Oh yeah, this is going to take some dusting off. Well, we just rode to the top of Coyote Hill. It's a lot higher than the last ridge we went up. You can see the Emigrant Trail disappearing into the distance down there. Sorry about the wind noise, but it is windy up here. It's also incredibly beautiful. Look at this. That wider area in front of the mountain over there, that's part of the Great Salt Lake. The Great Salt Lake is just on the other side of that ridge you see there. You can kind of see a wider area on the other side. I decided to point the bike into the wind so it wouldn't get blown over. We're not really seeing any sign of habitation in this area. When there is, you'll come up to a place like this and there'll be a pit dug into the top of the highest hill in the area. And that will be for the lookouts, you know, those standing guard over the village below or the rest of their families below. But there's nothing up here. But it's what gets us out here. It's so much fun to just look. It's an excuse to climb the mountain, you know? Now I got to work my way back up to the top here. I went down over the face just poking around looking for stuff. I gotta go back up and look for Linda. It's funny, the wind will die off to nothing and then it'll be a 30-knot gust again. Well, we were trying to get down to the salt flats and we're almost there. It looks like maybe just a couple miles, except for I don't know that we can find a road that connects, and it looks like there's a ranch between us and there, so I don't know. Wait till you see what's behind me right now. I'm going to do a slow turn. I think there's a cave up there. We've just been riding down I don't know, for about a half an hour, 45 minutes, just been riding down this road. It's really nice. Well, I think this channel has attracted some Yamaha TW200 riders, and I've learned one thing about this bike I want to share. People complain when they buy the bike, they say, oh, you've got to replace that front tire immediately. It just doesn't have any grip. But you know, I didn't find that to be true. I discovered that you got to let the air out of the tire. What I'm running at here with Linda and I both on the bike, we have a combined weight of 300 pounds. I'm running 20 in the back, 13 in the front on these dirt roads, and I find that it sticks real well on the sides of the ruts. I don't have any squirreliness at all. It's been pretty good. For our weight, the stock pressure is 22 front and 25 rear. So you can see I've lowered it quite a bit. Anyways, just my suggestion. That's what's working for me. I don't need a new front tire. This one's working just fine. Hey, good shooting, Linda. Linda and I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to Dana from Mountain Sport Air Guns, who sent us this pellet rifle. That was mighty nice of you, Dana, and we're making good use of it. Especially Linda here, old Deadeye.
Yeah, my eyes did.
What? Well, the thing that strikes me about this location, looking down on the Immigrant Trail down below us here, is that it looks exactly the same now as it did back then. And I'd like to think that if you listen real carefully, you can hear the sound of wagons and oxen and crack of a whip and children running and playing, and their route was dictated by things as simple as a steep hill or a wide river crossing that had to be avoided. Sometimes they would go for miles out of their way. But look at this. They would be making camp right now and settling in for the evening, just as we are. Well, we had a nice night last night in that campsite. We're still heading down Immigrant Trail Road. Pretty soon it's going to intersect with Utah 30 again, and we're heading into Nevada. At least that's what the navigator tells me. Well, back on Lonely Highway 30, heading west. Well, there's a lot of BLM land, both sides of the highway here, and just in general in Utah and Nevada and these states out west. Bring a good map and pick a road and go take it, and make sure you're not on private property, but you'll find some amazing places to camp yourself. But boy, if you come out here, you better be prepared. Make sure you got plenty of water, spare tire, a way to change it. It would help if you had a way to communicate. We've got our Garmin inReach, so we could always get a hold of AAA or something like that if we needed to.
Right, because there's no cell service along here.
Right, you can't contact anybody. There is the occasional car that goes by. Well, camp for tonight is just a spot, just a pull out alongside the highway. Not something we do very often, but we spent too much time fooling around in Elko, Nevada today, and this is it. But you know what? It'll do. It's called South Fork.